Hi boys and girls. We've been finding the area of figures. An area, as you know, is the amount of space an object takes up on the inside of the figure. The formula we use for area is A equals the length times its width. So I'll just write that right here. A equals length times width. Today, we're going to recognize area as additive. Okay? Add. We're going to add using our area. We're also going to find areas of irregular figures by decomposing them. Irregular, do you see this prefix right here, IR? It means not. So we're going to find the area of your not regular figure. In other words, something that's irregular, something that's not typical. It's not your typical square or your typical rectangle that we're used to seeing. It's an irregular shape. So we're going to decompose them to find its area. Decompose means to break down. Okay, so let's take a look at what I mean. Here we have two figures, two irregular figures. They are not your typical square or rectangle. See, they're made up of two or even three rectangles and squares. We are going to break them down or decompose them to find its area. Let's take a look at this first one. A lot of times I like to separate my squares from my rectangles. I like to decompose them by coloring at least one of the shapes so I don't get too confused and mixed up of which I'm working with first. Okay, so my first shape is a square. Now I have a rectangle and I want to find the area of both the square and the rectangle. I want to add them together to find its area. All right, now as we know, when we find the area, we multiply its length times its width. I first count, how many rows do I have? 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 rows. How many square units are in each row? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 rows and 3 square units in each row. That makes up my first equation. 3 times 3. I'm going to go over here and do the same thing with my rectangle. How many rows do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I have 7 rows. How many square units do I have in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on and so on. So I have 4 square units in each of my 7 rows. 7 times 4 makes up my other equation. I am now going to add the 2 equations together to find the total area of my irregular shape. Okay? 3 times 3 is 9 plus 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. I'm going to add this 28 plus the 9 and I will get 37. So the area of my entire figure here, A equals 37 square units. Let's take a look at the next one. I have, how many different shapes here make up this irregular figure? I have at least 3. I have a rectangle here, and I have a small square right here in the center. And I'm going to go ahead and color my square in the center just to show that I have 3 different shapes. Okay? I'm first going to find the area of my first shape. That's this long rectangle. How many rows do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And how many square units in each row? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So I have at least 2 square units in each row. 7 times 2 makes up my first equation. Okay? And because I know this is the same as this rectangle over here, I'm going to go ahead and make my equation for this rectangle as well. This, of course, will be 7 rows as well. 7. And how many in each row? Just like over here, 2. 7 times 2. Now I just have to make up my equation for my square. How many rows do I have? 1, 2, 3. 3. And how many square units in each row? 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3. I want to go ahead and add, put my addition signal, my addition sign in between each of my equations, because I'm going to add all 3 equations to find the total area of this irregular shape. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 3 times 3 is 9, plus 7 times 2 again, which is 14. Now I know 14 plus 14 is 28. 28 plus 9 will give me a total of 37. So my